All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. We are here at Cards and Culture on the Purple Couch. And before I introduce my guest, I do want to run through a few sponsors. And we wouldn't be able to do this podcast. My team is absolutely incredible. So shout out Rejuva-Me Medical. I've been going there for 3 or 4 years. They do hormone replacement. They do all kinds of anti-aging stuff. And really the staff is amazing. You can go in there and get blood work done. It tells you all about your hormone levels and they set you up on a personal regimen. It's absolutely incredible. So make sure you check them out. Also, Evolve PT here in town. Robbie Bolton, one of my best friends, is a great friend of the show, and he kept me in the game for a long time on the physical therapy side of things. I'm sitting here with an LSU basketball player, so part of our special here with the show, KP, you're going to have a complimentary session, I guess, with Robbie. But they do cupping, they do needling, they do all kinds of stuff. So season's a long time, and sometimes you might need some extra love. So courtesy of Up and In Show, you get to go to Evolve PT anytime you want during the season.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, now let's get into the episode. I am excited because we have another former national champion on here, fresh off her run. KP, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I know you got a million things going on. I'm excited to dive in some combo.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, why don't you introduce yourself? I always kind of let our guests introduce himself for a minute or two, right? Because I see you a certain way, but maybe you like to introduce yourself a certain way, so go ahead.
My name's Kateri Poole. I go by KP. I'm number 55 on the LSU women's basketball team. As you may know, we just won the national championship, and it was a great year. Excited to always give back to the community. I love LSU fans. I love LSU. I'm from Bronx, New York.
Let's go.
East Coast is the way, baby.
That's right. Dude, I'm from Jersey. I think I told you before we flipped this on, but I saw that you were from the Bronx, so I love that. I love it. What's been the biggest culture shock for you now I know you went to Ohio State out of high school and stuff like that, but coming down to the South, what was it for you?
I want to say the Southern hospitality. You're from the East Coast, so someone looks at you and just starts smiling. You're like, what's wrong with this dude? But I mean, that I think that just kind of what drew me to LSU. Like when I played against them at Ohio State, it was just like, the atmosphere was different. You just feel the love in the air and everybody's just pulling for each other, rooting for each other. So I think that was just something that kind of stuck with me.
Yeah. So you when you played with Ohio State, you guys came down here to play LSU?
Yeah, and
that's cool. You guys won too, right?
Round of 32 for the March Madness the year before last. So.
Knocked them out.
Yeah, we did.
That's funny. Man, that's so funny that you say that because everybody's like, well, the food must have been such a culture shock. And I'm like, no, it was the people.
Yeah.
And it was because in Jersey, if somebody invites me over to their house and is like, yo, I want to take care of you, cook for you. I'm like, dude, what do these people want? Like,
trying to set me up or something.
I'm like, what am I going to have to do for them later? Like, there's no way they're just going to give me free meals and everything, right? But that's why, now I'm going to turn 34 here in like 2 weeks and it'll be 17 years I'll be down here.
Sheesh.
Grew up 17 years in Jersey, so I might be a Southern person now.
Happy early birthday.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you. All right, so let's dive into this. You grew up in the Bronx. Was basketball first love for you growing up?
Let my mom tell it. I was supposed to be a ballerina.
What?
So, I mean, listen, if she sees this, I'm pretty sure she's going to add some pictures. Please don't DM her because she will send them.
It's over now. It's already. I just looked at him because I'm like, we got to get
Please
this.
don't. She'll send you.
He goes, I already did.
She'll do that. She'll send you gymnastics. And then that wasn't for me. My dad actually played at St. Bonaventure for 4 years.
Yeah.
So, I kind of just grew up in a basketball family. My mom was at Monroe, a local college in New York.
Okay.
And I think just the community, New York's just the mecca of basketball.
Yeah.
So, even if you don't want to play basketball, you're going to be drawn to it. And I just kind of stuck with it,
I love it. Yeah. So like from young, like ball was in your hand, like
like 5 or
age.
6 years old.
I love it. Was Pops playing in college when you were growing up, or was he already done?
He was just kind of like, My mom kind of gave him an ultimatum. She had got pregnant with me, luckily, and she was like, "All right, I know you want to go overseas and enter the draft, but it's either this baby or not."
Yeah.
So he kind of, made a sacrifice, and I'm kind of living through his dream right now.
Damn, that's awesome. You guys have a good relationship?
Yeah, that's my dude.
That's awesome. So was he coming to all the games and everything during this time?
He is also a coach at a community college in New York. So our seasons kind of conflict, but I mean,
when he can,
he's out there. He was at the Final Four though, so that means the most.
That's super dope. I love that. All right, so let's talk about. So if he had a little background at St. Bonaventure, he had gone through the recruiting cycle and everything, right? So Talk to me a little bit about what that was like for you growing up. I know you were a 5-star, so obviously you probably had a lot of offers to go through. What was the basketball circuit like in the Northeast, AAU, all that kind of stuff?
I was on New Heights AAU
Okay.
team for a couple years. I think we were Nike up until my senior year,
Okay.
summer, and that's when Under Armour came out with that huge circuit.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was just, you have all the best basketball players, girl basketball players, and there's a lot of like, tournaments, invitations, stuff like that. So like I was kind of cool with everybody on the circuit.
Yeah.
But then when we played them, it's like, I hate her. Like I can't guard her. Like this is my friend. We're gonna just joust the whole game, and like it kind of just grew into like a family. And even coaches then, like, they're not allowed to talk to you, but like after the season's over, like summer's over, they're reaching you a text like, hey, I hope you still got me on your mind.
That's cool.
So like I think the recruiting process was obviously like one hell of a show. I can say that. Like it was very crazy. I kind of had every school in the country, and like the main thing for me and my family at the time was where if basketball doesn't work out, where am I going to end up afterwards?
Nice.
And that's how I ended up at Ohio State. Ohio State's a P5, but their academics over there are amazing.
Yeah.
And I had the support. I had great teammates. I had great coaches. I had great academic advisors and stuff. And it kind of just set in stone for what I wanted to do in life.
Nice. Was that something that you were looking for? Like, obviously, you just like listed that off. Was that something like, hey, you got to hit these prerequisites for me to even like step foot on campus type thing?
Well, they do the home visits and stuff. So when they came to my house, my grandma was actually the one telling them like, you got to take care of my baby girl. Like she's smart, stuff like this. And my mom never made it just basketball. It's like my dad was the basketball dude. He asked all the questions, and then my mom had a list of like stuff she needed for us. And I think, they did a great job.
Yeah.
They got me where I wanted to be. And I mean, the whole LSU decision was strictly me. I was at a point in time where I felt like I needed to change. And when I came here, we played them. I saw Coach Kim doing what she was doing. I saw the girls, how they reacted to her. And like, just like I said, the atmosphere here, it kind of just helped me become who I am.
Wow. So how many years were you at Ohio State?
I was there for my freshman and sophomore year.
Okay. And then you just felt something when you were at LSU. You were like, this is it. I need a change. I'm here. Holy shit. I love that. I got chills right now. But I say that because I was fortunate enough to win a national championship when I played baseball here at LSU. And, when you win national championships, things like that have to happen. Like somebody has to come on campus and a chance thing to play in the round of 32 to feel this, to fall in love, and then that's the person that becomes the starter for the last 5, you know what I'm saying, in the national championship run and stuff. Like those little things all matter in a national championship. So that's why like I get chills like hearing this shit.
I respect it. I get chills every time I step into the PMAC. I'm not gonna lie.
I love it. All right, so while we're on that subject, let's talk about that. So Ohio State, you're killing it. You had a good, started most of your games out there and first 2 years of your career. So then LSU, how does that happen? You enter the portal. Does Kim start talking to you, or do you reach out to her?
I kind of knew where I wanted to go when I entered the portal. We had lost to Texas by like 3 in Sweet 16.
Okay.
And I kind of called my parents and I was like, hey, I think I want to go to LSU. And my mom's like, Louisiana, like that's 19 hours driving from New York. I can't make that game. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going there. You find a way. I'll book your flight, whatever the case may be. And when I entered, a lot of people called me, some D1s, not really D2s, but, I was just open to anything.
Right.
But I also knew where I wanted to go. So I was just waiting for that call. And Coach Daphne Mitchell actually called me, and she DM'd me, and she was like, hey, can we set you up for a call with Coach Mulkey? And I'm like, hell yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like, of course.
Why isn't she on this call?
Right. So, it took a while to kind of get in touch with Coach because she definitely, she's a very family-oriented woman. And I respect that, of course. So when I finally did speak to her, she just asked me, like, what did I want out of it? And I told her, like, straight up, like, I want to be the best person of myself, and I want to be able to win a national championship. And she made that happen. And I'm forever grateful for that.
Dude, I love that. And so it was just the right fit. And that's where it's like, again, she's the GOAT, right? She understands like, hey, this person's going to fit in here. It's going to be this way and that. And oh my God, I love hearing these stories. Like it's so organic. Like that's wild. All right. So you commit to LSU. What happens next? Like, is your world upside down now? Life from Ohio to Louisiana? Like how would we do that?
I want to say I was at a rough point in my life when I first came to LSU.
Okay.
Just because of how stuff ended at Ohio State.
Gotcha.
I want to say that it was strictly me.
Okay.
Nothing to do with coaches, nothing to do with the team. I just wasn't in the right mindset. And I kind of brought that to LSU. So, like I had a chip on my shoulder, sort of, but I also tried to be humble. And then I kind of, I had my godfather. He's a great mentor to me. He stays in touch with the coaches more than I do.
Love it. Yeah.
And, he kind of just told me, like, they need you.
Yeah.
Like coaches are telling me they need me. And I'm like, y'all are just saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then when it kind of resonated with me that, like, we had a chance to do what we did this year, I started pushing my teammates. I started pushing myself, going to the office more, talking to my coaches, asking them questions, just, sticking it through. And I think that the reason I changed was because of the atmosphere here and, just feeling how much people support you and believe in you. You don't get that anywhere else but LSU.
No, it really is second to none here. One of the biggest things for me from Jersey coming down here too was like, and you just said that the culture is what, did that. Was there a person or a coach or somebody, right? Like for me, there was 3 names in my head that immediately pop up that were like, they taught me about LSU baseball and what it took to win here, what we do and how we're going to like, set the precedent. Were there people on the team like that for you?
Well, Angel and I grew up playing against each other.
Really? Because you're both Northeast?
Yeah, we were like best of friends. And we actually started with Blue Star. Blue Star 30 was like the top 30 kids in the class of 2020.
Yeah.
And that's where I first met her mom.
Gotcha.
And since then, we just been like besties. And I actually entered the portal and she called me like, why are you leaving? Because she was at Maryland.
Right.
So, playing against each other for the past 10 years, it's like, all right, why are you leaving me now? And I'm like, I'm going to play for Coach Kim. And she's like, all right, I'll call you back next week. Called me. She's like, when are you going your visit? I'm like, April 28th. She's like, let's go together. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you just got, Big Ten Player of the Year. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
We go on the visit, and since then, we knew, like, we went to Coach Mulkey's house, and we verbaled, and we were like, this is somewhere that we're going to be. This is somewhere where we're going to take over.
Oh
and, I mean, Angel had a hell of a year, man. Yeah, just being able to be her teammate, but also her friend and realize how great she's become.
Yep.
Like, you just always want that for a great friend.
Man, I love that. I didn't know that you guys were that tight. I mean, it makes sense, that Northeast connection too. Like, that's crazy that you guys came on the visit and everything too. And just came out of nowhere that she was like, wait, why are you
It was so
leaving?
random. I was like,
what, actually, maybe that sounds good. Dang, so like, how does that work for her? She hears you do that and then maybe she calls Kim too? Like, how does that, or
well, I kind of was recruiting on the low. I was like,
that's all right.
I was like, Coach, I'm coming, but
Angel might have some interest.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, I didn't want to push it on them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Angel was the #1 recruit coming out of the transfer portal.
Yep.
And I was like, listen, I'm not going to play with no other big but Angel.
Right.
I love that. Angel's not even a big at that. Like, she's a stretch. You know what I'm saying? So I think it just kind of worked in our favor. Like, God always has a plan for us.
Absolutely. And that's where, like, that's why I say, like, things have to happen the way they do. And that kind of stuff goes a long way. And again, shout out to, like, Mulkey and the staff, knowing that if you're coming here and you're going to be happy, she's going to get the most performance out of you. If Angel comes here and you come here and you guys are best friends, you're going to get the best performance out of Angel too, right? So, like, just good for them that they understand that stuff, and that's what they did and made it happen. And then obviously everything just turned out the way that it did. So, all right. So talk to me. We can go back to Angel in a second, but I want to talk about your journey because to me, like, your season was really special to me. And I was a huge fan all year. I've been big on the basketball team for a minute here. The women's basketball team means a lot to me because, again, I grew up in Jersey, and when I came down here, women's basketball was nice. Van Chancellor was good, and I was like excited about that. When I got down here, we had like 1 or 2 years where they were good, and then they kind of fell off. So I've been waiting for LSU basketball to come back. And then my first hire with Cards and Culture actually was a girl named Jalen Richard Harris. So she played on the basketball team. So I got to know a lot of the girls in Mulkey's first year and everything. And I'm just like a fan of the basketball team. So for me, when I was watching it all year, watching you be a role player, do, come in and do your thing, but then to start at the most important time of the year. Talk to me about that moment, what that was like when you got that opportunity and what you were feeling kind of going through that.
I mean, I would just say Coach reiterates a lot, like, experience. And she knows that I played against LSU in the tournament. She knows how far we went. Yeah. She also seen my resume. Yeah. Not saying that just goes for experience, but she knows that I'm the type of player, you tell me one thing, I'm going to get the job done. I'm going to do the dirty work. Yeah. I'm going to piss the other coach off. I'm going to piss the other team off. Yep. And like in that championship game, Angel and I played against Iowa for the past 2 years. So like we kind of had more experience in the upper hand in that situation.
Yep.
But we also had that East Coast vibe. Like, we got this. You know what I'm saying? It was tough getting there. That Utah game, I don't know if you watched, but that Utah game was devastating.
Yeah.
Like I literally was crying on the bench thinking that we were gonna lose.
Really?
But I had to shake back. Angel came to me. She's like, "We got to believe in our teammates." Blah 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 blah. We did, and they pulled it off. And I think it kind of shaped when we lost to Tennessee in the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
Everyone was blaming each other. Nobody really, sat back and blamed themselves.
Right, or took accountability. Yeah.
On the way back from the flight, we all talked. We all had a team conversation, and I'm not one to ever speak up, like, at all. But if I do, it's going to be powerful. And I think everybody kind of just listened and kind of reflected. Next couple practices we got after it, we were like, we saw our bracket when March Madness came out. We were like, Angel and I literally looked at each other like, bro, are you serious? This is easy.
Yeah,
like,
we got
this. Is so easy.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody really believed in it until game after game. You know what I'm saying? Yep. During the season, we had a chart for March Madness. It was like Elite 64, Sweet 32, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, Championship game. Yeah. And we marked off every game. Every game. We have a binder where in the beginning of the season, we put our goals, what we want to do, and we check it off as we go throughout the season. And I think individually, it kind of shaped me because I'm used to scoring 20-plus points a game.
Right.
I didn't need to do that. We had 20-plus point scorers. Yeah. So what else was it going to do for me to stay on the court? We didn't have a Showtime defender. We didn't have someone that was going to go to the boards at my size. Yep. So like I kind of embodied the role that coach wanted me to do, and I just believed in her the same way she believed in me.
Yep. And again, that's why I love these conversations. I got chills right now because how old are you?
I'm 20.
That's crazy enlightened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for a 20-year-old to have that wherewithal instead of being like, I fucking transferred here from Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real easy to fall into that.
For sure.
I think there's a lot of people that do that. And that's why there's only one national champion, right? There's a winner at the end of the year where the coaches put the right people in the right places that have the right mindset and can embrace the right things. There's no egos. There's no me.
Sure.
It is what it is. It's about the team. And when you get everybody believing in that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
unstoppable.
That's power. That's
Facts.
power. So, oh my God, that fires me up. And that's what I had Jazz on the podcast right after, and that's what we were talking about. It was just like being that person in the right time at the right place, right? And being ready for when your team needs you. When there's somebody in foul trouble that's been there all year and can't play, who's going to step up? Who's going to do that? So, I give you so much love on that. And as an LSU fan, I think we all appreciate your performance and that mindset too, because I think somebody that played sports and is now on the outside of it, I think being able to appreciate that. And if I had more of that at 20, I think my baseball career might have been a little better. So I'm jealous of it, but I appreciate it even more so. So it's really cool to see. And I like telling that story and using this platform to show people that, winning is a full-on team thing, and everybody has their role in that. So good for you. That's awesome. What about, talk to me about the aftermath of the championship now. Okay. So you guys win the championship. You guys are on top of the world. What's going through your head?
To be honest, it still hasn't hit me yet. If I'm being completely honest, until I see the ring, then I might, shed a little tear. But
have you guys seen the designs of them yet?
No, we haven't.
What?
It's very sacred. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very sacred, but I respect it.
Yeah. Do you know when you're getting them?
I think first home game.
Football game?
Yeah,
I
think
announce
so.
you on the field and make that place roar. Let's go.
I think so. Always welcome to Death Valley.
Yeah.
After this championship game.
Where was it? It was in Houston, Texas.
Dallas,
yeah.
I think just all the feels, you know. My friend actually had passed away the day before.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
it kind of just like hit me that who I was really doing it for.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from the East Coast, it's a lot of violence, and not a lot of people make it out.
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful that I was in that position to make it out and do it for them. So I think it mainly was for the culture, not necessarily an individual, stat. Like I don't want to just be known as a legend or a celebrity because of one game. I want to know for the rest of my life what I did for LSU and what LSU has done for me.
Yep.
I think that's pretty much it.
And the impact I think you guys are doing it. I really think truly that we are in such a transformational generation right now with you. with the women empowerment, the barriers that you guys are breaking down right now. And that's why I'm here for it. I'm like, I got a podcast. I want to tell the story. I want to put it out there because I think it's going to be fun to look back on this 10, 20, 30 years from now too and be like, damn, remember that? And now look how far we've come. Look how far we're at, you know? So I appreciate you doing that stuff and saying the things that you do, you know, and having that wherewithal to win a national championship and just be like, you know, have that perspective and everything. So, did you guys leave that night and come back to Baton Rouge?
No, we did not. I can't say on camera what we was doing.
I know what you guys did. I know all about it. I was just poking the bear, see what came out. That's it.
Dallas owes me nothing. I'll tell you that. I might move to Dallas, move my kids there.
Who won? Was it Dallas won, KP nothing, or
Dallas definitely beat me? I'm KP negative 1,000.
That's awesome. Then you guys came back a couple days later?
We came back the next morning.
The next morning? Yeah. Got you. And then when was the parade here? Was that a couple days later? Did you guys breathe a little bit? Detox?
I think it was that Wednesday. I think we came back. That game was what, Sunday? Yeah, came back Monday, yeah. Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.
Sounds right, yeah. What was the summer like after all that shit? Like what normally happens in a summer when, you know, if you guys didn't win the national championship, what's the normal training schedule, playing schedule, that kind of stuff?
Well, I would say whoever wants to stay on campus and work out stays. Okay. Some people are like in summer school, just taking extra classes. Makes sense, some people going home. They haven't been home since, you know, school started. Right. A lot of my teammates are obviously on world tours. That's so I'm like, I mean,
Angels in Jamaica and like I'm like, dude, you guys are just living the life. Yeah.
And so if we didn't win, some people would be working out, going home. Yeah. I think the same thing since we did win, some people were just, you know, floating around, trying to see who we're getting from the transfer portal. You know what I'm saying? So it's always business. And I mean, from May up until I want to say June, I stayed here with Coach Thomas in the weight room. Me, Samaya, a couple other players were here. Went home, you know, finally had some off time. I didn't touch a basketball, I'll be honest. I didn't touch a basketball for like 2 weeks.
You need to separate that shit.
Then the time I did, I was like, all right, I need to be in the gym. So then we started, you know.
Go back up to New York?
Yeah, I did. Nice. I went there, went home for a couple weeks. Came back, had team workouts. Whoever was here obviously worked out. I think we had like, you know, Monday through Thursday, we did 1 o'clock, Friday, 7 a.m. So like, it was just like, you know, just getting back into the groove, weight room, lots of conditioning. And then we just finished maybe last week. And, you know, everybody either went home, stayed on campus, still working out. So, I mean, everybody's just floating around. School starts next week. So just ready to get after it again.
I love it. Now, I'm so curious about this because we won a national championship and I had a chance to come back my junior year after that. So I kind of know a little bit of what you're going through, but it doesn't compare because you guys have the phones, the social media, all that kind of stuff. Talk to me what that's been like for you, especially, you know, Ohio State probably didn't get the same attention that LSU does. And then even talk to me about any of the NIL opportunities that you might be having right now. If you can talk about them. I don't, you know, some of them might be on the fence and you're trying to close deals and stuff like that.
There's a lot of opportunities with NIL right now. Awesome. I'm not one to just jump the gun and just take anything come my way. I don't want to brand myself with something I don't see myself doing in the long run. So 100%. I don't do that. Smart. But there are some good ones that, you know, I'm trying to finalize right now. And hopefully that gets going before season starts.
I love it.
I just think that everything kind of just plays in a role like together.
I got you. You like social media?
No, I am not a social media person, but I have to be. You know what I'm saying? So
that's same here. I'm like, I don't love social media, but it's for the business and the storytelling.
Yeah, I got swag. You know what I'm saying? So I like dressing up, showing pictures and stuff like that. Yeah. But like, I don't like social media at all. Like I turn my likes off. I turn my comments off from time to time. I just don't have time to look at that type of stuff.
I love it.
Once I post, I log off. Like I don't, I throw my phone. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Cool, I check the box. Right? Yeah.
Literally like, and then like, you know, sometimes you go live just like interacting with people and letting them know that like, you know, you see them, stuff like that. Like sometimes I play video games. I play Fortnite, I play Call of Duty, I play all types of stuff.
We got to stream and play some Call of Duty. Let's go.
Definitely. Like I'm looking into Twitch, all of that. Like I want to so bad.
Let's go.
But I have fans and like people that actually want to play with me. So like I'll drop my tag and like
I'll get smart.
I'll get 1 or 2 games with them, you know, like it's just like, you know, just giving back. That's my way of giving back.
I love that.
I also use social media to like show people what I'm doing in life. Like, you know, I play basketball, but I also like to go on walks. I have dogs. Like I have another life besides basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I think some people forget that basketball players are actual humans, and or even athletes in general.
Right.
And you know, I try to advocate for mental health a lot. I try to advocate for, you know, just self-awareness and stuff like that. So I just try my best to just give back.
Bro, I feel like you're not 20 years old. Like I'm like,
I feel
what
like
the fuck?
that too. I feel like I'm
you're
old.
You're an old soul. You're an old soul for
Yeah.
sure. Like I'm 33 and I'm like, tell me more. I'm like, come on, let's go. What are you passionate about mental health? I like that. When athletes are passionate about mental health, I want to talk about it all day. So
I've lost a couple of my friends to that battle. And I've also been one to fall into that crack a little bit. And I'm not one to talk at all. And I feel like as I've grown and like being here specifically has helped me understand that it's okay to talk.
Yeah.
You know, I just kind of want people to know that it's okay to not be okay.
I love it. Yeah.
And it's okay to ask for help.
Yep.
Or like, you know, just broadcast your feelings.
Yeah.
Even if you need to just talk and not even get a reply from someone, just get it off your chest. Because at the end of the day, the only battle you're losing is with yourself.
I love it.
And, you know, I just want people to know that it's okay. Like there's other people out there battling the same thing. Just know that you're not alone.
Yep. That's the biggest thing right there. And that's why if that's what it means to you, I love that, because I think more people just need to hear that, right? And people see you on a phone and they make their assumptions and they think so highly of you. So when you humanize yourself and you say, hey, look, I deal with this too, I struggle with this too, it makes people feel stronger and more connected, not only to you, but to themselves and happier in other people, and allows them, you know, hopefully to have better success with their mental, you know, struggles and things like that. And I've been passionate about mental health my whole life. It was always something. My dad, you know, struggled with PTSD and stuff, so I saw growing up. And then when I played sports, I was always just big on the mental side of things, you know. And so when I was done playing ball, obviously, you know, when you're done, it's an identity, right? You're just like, what do I do now? Like that was a big mental thing for me. So I've always been big on mental health and everything. So when an athlete's passionate about it and is still in their sport, doing their thing at the top of their game and talking about it, I show a lot of love and I really respect it and appreciate it, because I think it does a lot for younger kids too. So
Definitely.
Yeah. Make sure you never stop talking about that and relating to people, because, you know, with the phones and stuff, younger generations struggle with mental health way more than any other generation. So, you know, that kind of stuff is really important. I love that. And what else do you do to keep your mental health right? You said you go on walks. Do you meditate?
I do meditate.
Let's go.
I
I
do. I sit on my grass in front of my house and I meditate for a few before my dogs start acting crazy. I actually play tennis on my free time.
Let's go.
I
Are
never
you nice?
realized. I'm getting there. I didn't realize how like hard tennis was. Like, you know, just watching Serena is like, she makes it look easy. And then you actually got to move up, move back, move side to side. Like, it's a lot of movement. But I love tennis. I just started journaling. So journaling has been something that I'm kind of, you know, taking to the soul right now.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I mean, as athletes, pretty much we meditate a lot and we do a lot of visualization, right? There's been countless times that you imagine yourself hitting a three or whatever, you know, playing defense, feeling things. That's all a version of meditation too. So I'm sure you guys do a lot of that stuff. And Kim probably pushes some stuff like that.
Does she?
Yeah. Does she do anything crazy, not crazy, but like anything new and innovative that you appreciated that was different than Ohio State or anything like that?
I want to say just her being her. You know, you hear a lot of stories about her, but that's not her at all. And like I said, she's a very family-oriented woman, and she takes care of us as if we were her kids. Like, she's going to crack jokes on you. She's going to sing some country songs. Like, if we're having a good practice and, you know, we're listening to Lil Baby, Gunna, anybody, she's going to throw on Calling Baton Rouge. And we're like, all right, coach, like, you know, you have your time.
Right.
But
and then she'll try to do the gritty.
Yeah, like, she's just herself, though. So I think that's really it. Like, she's a woman of her word, and I will never, ever regret my decision because of that.
Woman of your word is a good thing to have for a coach. That's, I mean, for a player to say that, I think that's pretty awesome. I've had a couple other, you know, basketball player from your team in the past talk about it, and they just say she knows how to get the best out of you guys, you know, and I think that's what a true coach does. She cares about her people and she tries to get the best out of them, who they are, and that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I love hearing that. All right, what else? You want to leave anything with anybody? I know you got a meeting with Boss Lady coming up, so I want to get you out of here. Is there anything else? Where can anybody find you? You want to shout out any of your socials, anything?
All right, let's do it. Okay, my Instagram is @Kateri Poole, KATERIPOOLE. My PSN for anyone that wants to, you know, stream with me, play any type of game is YGCINCO5, the number 5. That's YG5.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
I love it. I'm New Jerseyana. I got a little New Jerseyana. Kept my 732, which is up in Jersey.
What system?
PS5.
Oh, all right.
Come on.
Yeah, P5. I don't do the
that's it.
Xbox. I'm sorry.
It's that same thing. I'm like, I'll have this conversation all day. No Xbox here. No. That's awesome. Thank you. Seriously, this was fucking awesome. This was a great conversation. Thank you for enlightening everybody and sharing a little bit of your story. And go do your thing. And we're looking forward to this season. We'll be following for sure. Thank you, KP.
Appreciate you.